Nickeil, frustrations firstly, really high in the locker room the other night. You've had kind of a day to sit back and assess the situation. What needs to be done tonight? What's the team saying to each other to kind of get things back on track?
Just a level of consistency and a standard that we should hold ourselves to individually and as a team, and just about playing to that standard. I think in all our 4 games, if I'm not mistaken, there's definitely a chance where we've had to win the game and to kind of put it away and seal the deal. And I think because we weren't playing to that standard entirely, we've allowed cracks, and that's allowed teams to come back in. I think we show it throughout all these games because we'll be down 11, we'll be down 12, whatever, and then we somehow are up 5. So I think it's definitely there. We've shown that we are able to be in games. We have the talent, we have the capability to be in games. I think it's just about having the mindset and holding ourselves to a standard of playing to win each and every night, and kind of blocking out external factors that just kind of come out throughout the games.
Ant said a lot. Do you agree with his assessment of people just kind of sticking to their own agendas?
I think it's easier to when things are going wrong, because you start to quote unquote lose faith maybe. For me, it's just kind of doing my best in my role to try to keep guys together. Ant's going to lead, Julius is going to lead, and it's just trying to keep guys in line. And again, to that point, surrendering yourself to the team, losing that standard of I need this and how do I win? That's what it's got to be about. How do I get Julius easier looks? How do I get Ant easier looks? Mike Conley's probably one of the best on our team, and if not the NBA, at getting guys involved. And it's like, how can all of us do that for each other? And I think once we figure that out, and I know it's there, and I know guys are seeing it, we're watching film, we're talking about it. So once we just start to do it, I think we'll see a change.
Just as far as guys getting in their own heads when things go south, Coach Finch called that out the other day. How much does communication factor into that? How much communication kind of improve, you guys, your togetherness in those moments?
We've been communicating pretty well actually throughout this. You would think, it's kind of quiet, or guys are just kind of shying away. No, everyone's had a voice, and the group chat, everyone speaks, and I think it's starting to show, because the effort's there at times. It's just little cracks, as you're trying to get out of a bad habit. It's not going to go away right away, but I think each and every person is committed to it. And I think it's just about owning in on that commitment, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's the main thing. It's not always going to be comfortable to change, and even doing the right thing is not always going to be comfortable. So I think individually, as we continue to stay in the locker room, and each guy looking in the mirror and being real with each other and ourselves, and just saying hey man, I got to be better, and I'm going to be better, and the things that my teammates call me out on, I'm going to improve, and the things that I call them out on, I'm going to hold them accountable.
I was going to say, Ant was kind of lamenting that he felt like you guys couldn't be that candid with each other the other night, and he was kind of saying that he felt like the team was growing apart from maybe where it was before. Is that your read of the situation, and can you be as candid with each other as maybe you were a season ago, or
it's a different team and dynamic when you look at a team a season ago, and different personalities. We lost Kyle, who's a very, very, very vocal person in the locker room, and he was kind of the glue to a lot of that stuff, and so it put guys in a position where now Ant is more vocal than ever. This is his first year doing so I think sometimes it's not always worded the right way, but the intention is definitely there. I think we've kind of crossed that line of, man, I feel like you're not hearing the message. I think it's, at first it's tough to be called out, because now you start to feel like, okay, are you saying I'm the reason? And no one wants to be at fault, but at the end of the day, I definitely think that guys are open to hearing it better. And I think it just came from a standpoint of, at a point in time in the conversation, there was comeback. And it was we're going back and forth now.
Yeah.
And I think as opposed to receiving it, okay, I got you. And I think it's just
fighting it.
Yeah, and that's how it's gonna be. It's very rare that someone is just gonna be able to be called out and just not have anything to say. It's human nature to be defensive at the end of the day, but kind of remembering like what we're here for, and if I'm being called out, chances are I got to look in the mirror and do better. And